Good morning, everyone. Thanks for logging into our channel, The Idiot Chef, and thanks for also checking out our inaugural video. It's probably good to give a little bit of background information as to why we decided to come up with this channel. So presently, I'm a student at university, and I came to the realization that most of my colleagues and my cohorts were probably not the most competent chefs around, and so we're trying to save them, as well as ourselves, as the plight of having to suffer fast food 7 days a week. Ideally, we would like to be a cooking companion from incompetent to semi-competent to intermediary to expert. And whether you're just a lover of food, and so we always encourage that you can give us some likes and comments as well. Comments are always appreciated with your suggestions, so maybe we can have a bit more direction on what you would like to learn to cook as well. We also try to be as quick as possible with our response, but as you could imagine, we can't get to every comment. So hopefully you guys rock with us for the rest of the coming few weeks, months, and year. And so today we're going to be making a beautiful Sunday roast straight from the market. So we work with fresh ingredients as much as we possibly can. And roast beef is something you can always bring out to impress people when they come over. It might not be the most student-centered, however you can make it so, because then that one slab of beef on Sunday can carry on throughout the week. Roast beef sandwiches, all of that good stuff. Yeah? So we're going to take you from the process, like we said, to the raw stage. So we'll show you how to get the fresh cut out of the beef, and then we will move through the process of seasoning. Ideally, I like to have about a day before. If you know you're doing roast beef, you should probably go to the market on Saturday, season on Sunday, and move forward. However, the world doesn't always work out like that. So I went this morning, and we're going to go through the process of making it a bit more palatable. And so we'll give it a 3-hour marinade before we put it in the oven. Stay tuned, we're going to walk you through. As you can see, we have about 2.5 pounds of boneless beef, raw. And to cut the fresh from there, what we did was crack a bay leaf in there, 2 bay leaves actually, and sprinkle a little bit of flour. You pass it over, you pass your hands in there for a little bit, let it sit for all of about a minute, 30 seconds or so, so you just get some of those impurities out. As you remember, we're dealing with fresh market beef, yeah? And once that is sorted out, we get that off and we start moving towards the process of seasoning. Like any dope dish, our starting point is going to be basil and garlic cloves, because we're going to stuff the beef through the center. This adds a bit more difficulty, and so not everyone needs to follow this step. You can go with the dry rub, which we'll show you next, and we'll move forward. But for those who find themselves in the intermediate bracket, this should be some dope stuff for you to pay attention to. Alright, so we've already washed our fresh basil from the market, and we're just going to get this garlic sorted out as quickly as we possibly can. Alright? I read somewhere that you don't need to use a big knife, but if you can, you should, you feel me? And so I think it makes my life a lot easier. I'm also going to run you guys through the idiot friendly method of chopping in a bit. But for now, what we're going to do is stuff these cloves of garlic and basil into our boneless beef. So we've taken our garlic that we crushed and our basil, and we've inserted it into a cavity in the meat. Yeah, you can't miss it. It's right there. Right in here we have all of that good stuff. At which point now we're going to put a little bit of oil on the meat, as we've tenderized it already. Use a bit of a pounder so you can pass your day's frustration on there. And now we're going to put a little bit of oil as an adhesive, and we're going to mix our dry rub. It's going to be amazing. Awesome. So we're going to get a little dry rub action going. And this is how we go about making it. So we add a little bit of salt in there, of course, just to start out. Alright, just a touch of salt. Remember, you don't have to use all of your dry rub right away. Black pepper, major key. Of course, black pepper. As you could imagine, quite a bit of black pepper. Crushed chili flakes, major key. Definitely a very good option to have. And of course, steak seasoning. This is all-purpose, but I think amazingly tasteful. We drop a little bit of all-purpose in there as well. Get yourself a spoon or a fork, whichever works for you. Spoon, just pass it through there. Make everything come together wonderfully well. Dopeness. We're also going to use some cloves and some bay leaves for aromatics as well. So let's focus on the dry rub for now. We're going to apply it liberally. carcass of the meat. As you can see, this is what we're working with, which is dope. So here we've applied our dry rub, and we're going to start a mix of our wet seasons as well. Then we're going to tie it up in a bag, and we're going to let it marinate for the next 3 hours, yeah? So you want to get both sides of the meat done, evenly coated, and then you add the liquid seasoning in the bag, so everything is going to be wonderful together. Awesome. So now that we've done our dry rub, what we're going to do is move forward with our liquid ingredients for our marinade. So we're going to start, and some fresh ingredients as well. Your normal store-bought green seasoning, or if you can make it at home yourself, then the better for you, power to you. Alright, get a little bit of green seasoning in there. Not too much, don't waste all your seasoning. Remember, we're students, so we're on a budget. Yeah. A bit of Worcestershire sauce, because you need that in any type of red meat you're doing, or meat generally. Once you season it, you'll see that I use a lot of Worcestershire in my cooking. Red meat, red wine, so if you have some at home, then definitely indulge. I use a nice Shiraz, just because of what I have on hand at the moment. However, if you have box wine on your budget, then I can't tell you don't use it. Also, for the flavor profile that I'm going for, we use as much fresh rosemary as we can possibly get. So we're mixing all of that in the wet seasonings, yeah? We get this, we just whisk our spoon through it, right? So with our fresh seasoning, we're going to put everything in a bag and let this marinate for a bit. It's going to be dope. A little bit more red wine, never kills. Doctor says it's good for the heart. Alright, we have some red wine here. And we're about to move forward into the bagging stage, yeah? Make sure that all your seasoning goes in there as well. Don't be afraid to use your hands in the kitchen, guys. I never shy away from using my hands if I can. All of that goodness, you put it in there as well. Yeah. Take your wet seasoning, your wine and your rosemary mixture, drop that inside of the bag. Tie your bag. Yeah. Not the most difficult process in the world. It just has to taste really good. Yeah. And you put this guy to rest in the roasting pan. Figure deal me? You take this guy and you put it right in here for a few hours. So this is unbelievably important, yeah? Whenever you're cooking a roast or something of that nature, aromatics play a major part. So what you do is you add a little oil to your baking pan. You add 2 bay leaves in there, a little bit of red onion, a normal onion. You then put the meat on top of it, right? And then you proceed to put in your foil tent. So you're gonna see how it looks. So as you can see, our meat is nestled wonderfully between our herbs, and when we put the tent over it and everything starts to steam together, the flavors are going to infuse even more. This is really important. You would think that a raw ingredient, something as simple as a bay leaf and an onion, is something you could do without, but I'm telling you, major key, definitely remember, always get your aromatics sorted out, and you use your foil tent to keep in moisture. Then closer towards the end, we'll take the tent out so you can get a little bit of a little char top. Yeah? F, 180 degrees Celsius, yeah? So now that the beef is in the oven, you should know that we put it in at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which equates to about 180 degrees Celsius. You go at about half an hour per pound of meat if you're looking for a rare / medium rare type experience like I am. And so we're just going to observe this. We have about 2.5 pounds in there, so it's going to take about an hour and 15 minutes. Ideally, we'll check on it in about 45 minutes time, so then we can see whether we tape up our tent and how we move forward from there. Awesome. So we've now taken it out of the oven. It's been about an hour and 15 minutes or so at 350 degrees F, 180 degrees C. We're just letting it rest. Remember, whenever you take your beef out of the oven, you always let it rest for 15 minutes so the juice can redistribute and it doesn't all rush out of there. What I'm going to do next is just put some of the stock over it, just to give it a little bath of some of those wonderful juices I would have dropped, and just wait before we start to get through the slicing process. Everything is going to be amazing. So now that our meat has rested, I'm going to presume to make our first inroad to slicing. And let me tell you, like butter. Nice little incisions into our meat. Alright, As you can see, we have our first clove of garlic, which we stuffed in there. Just peeking out. And so right throughout, you'll have your incision that you made here. All your flavors are going to be right inside of there. It's beautiful. Oh, this is cutting like butter. Oh, phenomenal. Figure you know what I mean? It's going to be a beautiful feast. Brilliant. For whoever made it to the end of the video, thanks for supporting our first post. Hopefully you guys found it pretty informative, and remember, we're trying to have a very interactive type of experience, so feel free to comment below and I'll respond as quickly as I can to as many as I possibly can. I'm about to jump into this wonderful meal of ours, and all I have to say at the end of this is really remember to eat well, live well, be well. Peace!